Mr. Speaker, last week Republicans made a serious offer to avert the fiscal cliff, and most of it was based on testimony given last year by President Clinton's former Chief of Staff, Erskine Bowles. And as Mr. Bowles himself said on Sunday, we have to cut spending. Well, he's right. Washington has a spending problem. Let's be honest, we're broke.
Hi, it's Chris Wilhelm and welcome to my weekly video blog. Well, hey, we wanted to update on the fiscal cliff. Today is Wednesday, 12/12/12. That's right, we're inside 21 days from going over the cliff. Here's the latest on the mortgage interest deduction.
About 40 million American families take the mortgage interest deduction on their taxes each year. Those families see an average deduction of about $2,000. So here's how it currently works. Families making less than $40,000 a year see a tax savings of about $100. Families making between $40,000 and $75,000 save $542. Families earning between $75,000 and $250,000 see a tax savings between $1,200 and $2,600 a year, and the highest earners making more than $250,000 see an average savings of about $5,400. Now, to raise more revenue, Congress is considering multiple new plans. Under the administration's plan, a family making more than $250,000 would see their deduction capped at 28%. That's rather than the current rate of 35%. Over the next 10 years, that could lower or rather increase federal tax revenue by nearly $600 billion. Critics argue that lowering the cap would hurt home values, particularly along the coast where the prices are the highest and just as they're beginning to rebound. Moody's Analytics chief economist Mark Zandi says he expects that the economy would benefit ultimately from the measure, even though home prices would grow slightly less.
Did you realize that only 25% of those who are eligible to write off the mortgage interest deduction actually...
What the hell's going on out here?
So here's an action tip for you. Mark it down. January 2nd, you're going to pick up your phone, you're going to call your client and say, hey, just wanted to remind you that that interest you pay on your mortgage, you can deduct. So that means there's close to 75%, well, there is 75% because I said only 25% take it, that do not write off mortgage interest as a deduction. That's pretty staggering. At least I found that to be staggering. So again, there's an action item for you to follow up with your clients. Staying inside or just a little outside the cliff, but it's part of the cliff, is the mortgage relief tax, and that is specifically for those people who are selling their home and are actually filing a short sale. That means when they're the lender's accepting less, and I know most agents understand that. Currently, as we speak, that is not a taxable event because of the mortgage relief tax. That's due to expire on, you guessed it, 12/31. Now, there's a lot of debating going back and forth with this because they estimate that close to 11% or 22% of all homes in the nation are currently or pursuing short sales. That's about 11 million homes. Tax dollar wise, that's about $2.7 billion in tax revenue that's getting left on the table. So I'm sure there'll be some revisions to this, strictly tied to, of course, you guessed it, their tax brackets, but we'll keep you posted on that. But inside the mortgage relief tax, as we know that's due to expire, the IRS actually has a standing form, which is 982, which basically reads that the reduction of the tax attributes due to the discharge of an indebtedness under Section 1082 Basics Adjustments. Woo, that's a mouthful, but your borrower, your buyer, our borrower, still may be eligible to not have to pay taxes on that short sale. So I have attached a link here, so make sure you check that out because you would definitely want to keep your clients informed with that. We'll do our best to try and keep you updated on anything else we're hearing inside the fiscal cliff that's definitely impacting our industry specifically.